Okay, this is all dry, and look at how beautifully it dried, and there's a nice shimmer with a gold speck in it. Really looks beautiful. So our next step for the book is to gel down our tea bags. And I have 3 here that I'm going to put down eventually. I'm going to only start off with well, I'll go ahead and put all 3. No, I'll put 2 down, and then eventually I'll put this 3rd one down. And I hope that's not a mistake, but we'll find out. Anyway, so let's go ahead and gel those down. Now we're just going to let this dry, and we're officially ready to begin our pen and ink and watercolor work. Okay, so there are some special tools that we're going to be using for our tea bag art. Now, of course, we're going to use traditional watercolors. You know, your normal palette, whatever it might be, is going to be fine. But I'm going to also be using some special watercolors. Now, this first one is it's by a company called Color Arts. They're iridescent. They're just lovely watercolors. Very delicate and beautiful. Now, I could not find this particular brand on Amazon.com, but I found an equivalent brand. However, you can go to colorart.com and order them, and that's COLOUR art ARTE.com, and get their, this is the Morning Sunrise. I'll put this link also in the class supply so that you have that in case you want to get them. But these are just lovely watercolors, very vibrant and different than our normal ones. The other watercolors that I'm going to be using, they're if you choose to get them, they're called Black Diamond, and they're pigments, okay? And if you choose to get them, you will need to get a carrying case of some type to store them in. Or you can mix them up as you want them, but then you're going to be wasting a lot of precious watercolors. So you can see I've got my palette here. All I did was took them and I made a name card down in here so I know exactly which one it is. And I'm going to demonstrate right now how to make up some more gold. You use the, I'm using iridescent medium to mix them with. The iridescent gives just an added sheen to these pigments. These are really just beautiful pigments, and they don't paint like watercolors. They just add highlight. So you're going to use your palette knife, a small palette knife. And I'm going to go quiet for a minute, but you get out just a small portion of it. I have a tendency to spill things, so I'm going to get a really small portion if I can. And put it into your little container. And then you're just going to add enough of the iridescent medium, or whatever medium you want. Gel, you could even put gel in. I'm just bringing it up close so you can see how much I'm adding. So just enough to kind of cover the top of it, and then you just mix it up. You do not have to use this. You can use a varnish. You can use, like I said, the gel. I've never used it with water. I can't imagine mixing them up with water because the water would dry up. But you can see how they get when they sit for a while, and then I just use my aqua pen, my water pen, to work with them again, and they moisten right back up. You can also spray them. But there you have it. And so I'm going to be working with these and these, okay? And then also some really just black needle drawing pens. I'm working with, I pulled out the 0.3, the 0.2, a standard, what is that, 10, and an 04. And I have quite a collection of different size pens. I have these also, which all of these I got from Amazon.com. I put these on in the supply list because I found these to be really high quality. And then also I do have some assorted Sharpies, fine point, medium point, and then of course the fat Sharpie. Here's some from Artist Loft that I've used before. They're pretty good too. The problem with micro pens when you work with them is that if your paint, acrylic, watercolor, whatever it is, if it is not dry on your page and you use these, you're going to ruin the tip. Once they're ruined, that's it. Even if it's the first time, you can't get the ink out anymore. So you have to really make sure that what you're working with is completely dry. All right, so that about does it for our supplies, and we'll move forward. See ya in a minute. Okay, so here's our journal, and here's the tea bags. They're all dry. So I'm going to do a flower garden. So mainly what I'm going to do is I'm going to start putting stalks down. So I'm just going to randomly add those in copper and green. And I think what I'll do also is I will get this going so that it's in fast motion so that you can just watch it at your leisure. So let me just get some of the stalks in, and then I'll stop it and put it in. Okay, I realize I'm going to let this completely dry so that I can put this layer on before I paint the flowers. So I will be back when this completely dries.